Welcome, everyone. I'm Chris with National Parents Organization, and today I'm here with Teresa Harlow, who is a speaker, author, co-parenting coach, mom, and stepmom, and she is here today with us to talk about International Shared Parenting Day. So, Teresa, welcome, and what have you got for us today?
Hi, Chris. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I really appreciate you having me on because I'm excited to talk about International Shared Parenting Day and the event that I am helping National Parent Organization to plan around commemorating that special day. So I guess you'd like to know first, what is International Shared Parenting Day?
Yeah, tell us what is International Shared Parenting Day, and kind of how long has it been around?
Well, it's been around since 2018, and April 26th is the anniversary of the date of the signing of the first statewide explicit 50-50 shared parenting law, so that it would be a uniform law across the state of Kentucky, who were the first to sign it. And so National Parents Organization, being the advocates they are around such laws, decided to pick up commemorating that day each year. This year, I encouraged them to consider planning a special event to further the reach of what the day means to the organization and to co-parents around the world. And as such, we just started talking about it and it rolled into more and more creative thought. And before we know it, we have 14 speakers on board and 10 organizations or more. I think it's more every day that have agreed to promote this event to their audiences because there's great interest in helping parents to do a better job co-parenting after a divorce or separation. So the event, if I didn't say already, is going to be virtual. It is on April 26th on International Shared Parenting Day, and it will run from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. So that way, if you're on the West Coast, hopefully you can still catch it, and it's not too late for those that are on the East Coast and elsewhere in the world. Then plan accordingly.
People can log on to the virtual event, and you've got a bunch of speakers here. Wow, 14 speakers. That is a lot of speakers. What are we going to be hearing about during that virtual event?
Yeah, so the speakers are going to present information on a range of topics. We have some special appearances. Warren Farrell, who was a lead in the women's movement early on, and then also picked up the men's movement as he learned more and more about the topics that were at hand for both genders, if you will. He is an author of, I don't know how many books, like a whole bunch. And he's a political science professor, and he's going to be speaking for a brief cameo appearance, if you will. He's a very busy guy, and share his thoughts on shared parenting and where his thinking is these days on the men's and women's movement. And he's also the author of a book called The Boy Crisis. Beyond that, we've got a range of other speakers. I'm going to provide a webinar that I call Co-Parenting Conflict to Collaboration in 4 steps, just 4 steps,
That's it. Just 4 steps.
just four.
That sounds too easy
And
almost.
well, it'll at least get things rolling, right? It'll bring you in the right direction. So that's the idea. If you can initiate a change that's for the positive, then you bring hope to the situation. So we'll cover that. And we also have someone that's going to speak on the family court process and how you can manage that and custody cases more effectively. And also we have Emma Johnson, whose podcast or website, I think, is Wealthy Single Mommy. She's going to speak on her feelings about shared parenting and the benefits of it to moms. And we even have a success story of shared parents that have been there, done that, and found that it actually did successfully work for their family. So I think there's quite a bit more than that. I don't want to go through every single one of the 14 with you, but you get the idea. This is an event specifically to benefit parents that are divorced or separated that are continuing to parent their children after uh, the divorce decree. And so there's something in it for everyone. And I do believe it's going to be the first event of its kind across so many organizations. So people do need to register though to attend. So there's an event link on the website that I know we're going to talk about.
Yeah, and I'll go ahead and I'll bring that up here now so people can see the website here. So the website that people need to go to is sharedparentingday.org, and that will direct you to a page here for the International Shared Parenting Day event on April 26th from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And it looks like all you have to do is click the RSVP button down here, and you can then go ahead and put your information in an Eventbrite. And I'm assuming once you register that you'll get your a link to log on to the event.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, that way we can manage the attendance and make sure we have enough capacity because there's been quite a response to it already. So we have to make sure that we've got enough bandwidth to cover everyone. It is going to be in open format too. So a lot of times when you sign up to attend these things, there's a difference in the formats when you talk about webinar versus just open Zoom. So I'll just speak to that for a second because there's good things about that. So the fact that it is being run as an open event as opposed to a webinar means that you have an opportunity for more interactivity if you choose to. Although everyone's camera will be off because of the sensitivity of this topic, and you can certainly change the name of your screen name so that you can camouflage that if you like as well. But if you are a person that wants to interact, there will be opportunities at times during the event to do that. And so you have more opportunity to do that when it's being run as a regular Zoom call, if you will, as opposed to a webinar where it kind of feels like you're just logging on and watching TV. So I kind of like that idea.
Certainly a lot of benefits there to participating in something like this. I mean, for one, I think it just allows you to see all the other people across the country that are sort of in the same predicament that you are. I think a lot of
True.
times as parents and co-parents, we can feel kind of isolated, right?
Right.
So certainly seeing everybody else in the same situation is good. And then also, knowing what works and what doesn't work for other people, I think can certainly help people out in their situations.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the aspect of this. And I know Don Huben, the chair of NPO, would be disappointed in me if I didn't mention the research aspect. Because as part of International Shared Parenting Day, NPO, National Parents Organization, honors someone that has done groundbreaking research or pivotal research on shared parenting. And so Bill Fabricius will be offering up his latest research on the topic. And then Ned Holstein is going to award NPO's Shared Parenting Research Award for the year. And what's important about that isn't just, I mean, who wants to hear a bunch of research statistics? Well, the reason that that might be interesting for you is if you're in the throes of a custody case and you're met with skepticism by whomever that's in this process, whether it's therapists, judges, magistrates, you name it, the other attorney, whatever. You can arm yourself with information that speaks to why this is a good idea for families, why shared parenting is beneficial to all involved. So that research could help you.
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly now a large body of research that supports shared parenting, and it frustrates me because I hear almost every day from people all across the country, and they they tell me that I mean, the arguments against shared parenting are not supported in the research, and they're still being used quite consistently, particularly by the legal groups and by domestic violence advocates. And they just don't have the right information, and it's so frustrating because I think if they were, had the right information and believed it. That's the other thing is we've had some of these groups that don't believe the research, even though the research is the research, right?
Right.
It is very frustrating because I mean you want everybody to go off the right information.
Sure. And I mean, you can look to Kentucky, you can look to some of the other states that have done things and see that the instances of violence and conflict between parents that do shared parenting is lower than that of parents that don't have 50-50 shared parenting. So the main argument that they need to protect children from potentially, high conflict, violent situations just doesn't bear out in the actual statistics of what you see when you take a closer look. So I'm totally with you, Chris. I really hope that if people are listening to this and you're in the families in distress realm, working with families that are going through divorce, that are going through custody battles, that you'll take a listen and a look at this research and decide for yourself, is it something that makes sense to you? And should you get behind it?
So now the event is primarily for parents, but would it be a good idea to maybe to send this link on to your legislators and encourage them to attend? I mean, it sounds like there's going to be a lot of information for a lot of different folks in this virtual event.
Sure, absolutely. And the reality is, a lot of those legislators are also parents that have been divorced. So,
Absolutely, yeah,
politics is a rough and tumble game.
yeah.
So, but both from a personal and professional standpoint and policy standpoint, they could stand to hear this information.
Well, that's fantastic. So, folks just need to get onto the website and click register, and it is a free event, right? It doesn't cost anything.
Yes. That's right, and I don't think I said that earlier, so thank you for mentioning that. It's totally free. We have some sponsors lined up, so they're taking care of that for us. And the speakers that you're getting are international speakers that you know are going to bring it. I'm going to MC the whole event to make it interesting. So there's that. And we're going to have a couple giveaways along the way as well. So we'll have some fun along that as well. But yeah, I think that parents, step parents, even grandparents and other extended family that interact with, divorced parents and those children are all going to have something useful that they can take from this.
Yeah, and while it is a free event, I'll throw in a little plug here for the National Parents Organization that it is a national nonprofit. And if you have some money burning a hole in your pocket and want to throw it to a good cause, MPO would be more than happy to take a donation, and that
Yeah.
money goes again to help support further the cause to get laws changed across the country, and to help get information out about research and a lot of other good things. So the money definitely goes to good use. So while it is a free event, if you feel inclined, donation would certainly help the bigger cause for NPO. And then you mentioned you had some sponsors. Do you have any key sponsors that you want to mention?
Sure. We've got Onward, which is an app that parents can use to share financial information for their shared expenses.
Mm-hmm.
And we have the Gene C. Coleman Family Law Center, as well as the International Council on Shared Parenting. So we've got a few different sponsors there. And hopefully more will sign on before the day because this is being promoted to an audience potential. I'm not going to sit here and say this is how many are showing up because that would really break our Zoom. But it is being promoted across 10 organizations, which make up 1.2 million parents. So it's a sizable audience to expose your business to.
Well, that is certainly is a pretty big audience, and hopefully we'll have a lot of people sign on for the webinar. And just in case people can't make it live during the event, is it going to be available afterwards? Is it going to be recorded and available online?
We are recording it. We haven't decided how we're making it available after the fact. So that'll be something we'll have to do a follow-up with you.
All right. Well, we can certainly do a follow up on that, or 27 easy payments of $39.95, right?
Right. But the website, again, is sharedparentingday.org, because this is a nonprofit. You'll see it redirect, and then you're going to get a page that you may have to scroll down a little bit to see an RSVP button. And you just click that, and it's going to take people interested in registering to the registration page, which is on Eventbrite. And that's where, Chris, as you mentioned, people will have an opportunity to, if they choose, give a donation to National Parents Organization to support their cause of advocating for legislation favorable to shared parenting.
Well, fantastic. And any closing thoughts on the topic before we leave?
I'm just really excited that the event has such enthusiasm around it from so many different organizations that are willing to put the word out there, and that we're getting rapid signups to attend it, because I really think that there's a lot of information, like you said, that needs to be out there and become common to people so that they do understand the benefits of going down this path, and that they're armed with information to share with others and to build their lives around positive energy after that divorce decree, after that separation. Because just because you make a painful decision to separate from someone as your intimate partner, the family goes on, and the family can survive.
Of course, you can always reach the National Parents Organization online at sharedparenting.org. Teresa, how can people get a hold of you? I know you have some web presence and some social media.
I do, here and there. So my website is teresaharlow.com, and I'm on most social media either as Teresa Harlow or Teresa Harlow 123. And it's as simple as 123. Just think of that. And remember, that's my birthday. And now you all know.
Well, fantastic. Well, thank you so much for coming on, and I can't wait. I've actually registered for this while we were talking, and so I'm excited to join and participate. And we hope that you out in the audience RSVP and join and participate as well. And Teresa, thank you so much for putting this all on. I know putting an event like this on and together and bringing all the sponsors together is quite a bit of work. So I really appreciate all your support there.
Yes. Yes. Well, and we have a professional on staff that we've hired to help us keep all of the cats herded.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me, Chris. I really appreciate getting the opportunity to share this with everyone.
Well, thanks for coming on, and I can't wait to talk with you again after the event and tell everybody how much of a success it was.
Yep. Sounds good. Sounds like a plan.